The nature of contemporary celebrity culture is defined by moments that transcend ordinary media coverage, transforming personal milestones into events of global cultural significance. In an era dominated by instantaneous communication and the perpetual glare of the public eye, certain occasions capture the collective imagination so completely that they become historical markers of their generation. When two individuals who occupy the absolute pinnacle of their respective cultural landscapes decide to unite, the resulting phenomenon is not merely a social gathering but a tectonic shift in the entertainment ecosystem. For months, the world had been whispering about, speculating upon, and anticipating an event that seemed to dwarf all other media narratives, drawing together threads of athletic mastery, musical genius, and unparalleled global influence. The sheer scale of anticipation created an atmosphere of electric suspense, where every rumor was dissected, every potential venue scrutinized, and every public appearance analyzed for hidden clues. Yet, as the momentous day finally approached, the true magnitude of what was transpiring behind closed doors began to crystallize, revealing an intricate tapestry of fame, tradition, and the inevitable conflicts that arise when the biggest names in the world are brought together under one roof. It is a story not just of a ceremony but of the immense gravity that such a union exerts on everyone within its orbit, creating a ripple effect that touches legendary icons of the past, contemporary powerhouses, and millions of observers worldwide who find themselves completely captivated by the unfolding spectacle. If you wish to remain connected to the deep-lying narratives that shape the world of entertainment and culture, consider subscribing to stay informed as this extraordinary chronicle continues to reveal its secrets. To truly understand the atmosphere leading up to this monumental occasion, one must examine the delicate balance between public expectation and private reality that these figures must navigate daily. The preparation for an event of this magnitude requires a level of logistical coordination that rivals major international summits, involving hundreds of individuals working in absolute secrecy to construct an experience that is both grand in scale and profoundly personal. The venue itself, historically recognized as a coliseum of legendary athletic battles and historic musical performances, was transformed into an impenetrable fortress of luxury and romance, standing as a silent testament to the ambitions of the couple. Outside its walls, the city pulsed with an unusual energy as fans, journalists, and onlookers gathered in the hopes of catching even a fleeting glimpse of the arriving vanguard of global society. The guest list resembled a living registry of modern cultural achievement, spanning generations of artistic brilliance, athletic excellence, and media prominence, ensuring that every seat within the arena would be occupied by someone who had left an indelible mark on the world. This concentration of influence created an almost mythical aura around the proceedings, generating an intense gravity that pulled in the attention of the global public and set the stage for an unforgettable convergence of history and modern mythology. As the final hours ticked away before the commencement of the grand proceedings, the true complexity of organizing such a historic gathering began to manifest through the choices and dilemmas faced by those who were invited to witness it. In the world of high-profile entertainment, scheduling conflicts are not merely inconveniences but monumental hurdles, as the commitments of the global elite are often determined months or even years in advance by contracts, traditional obligations, and professional duties. The intersection of a once-in-a-lifetime personal celebration with deeply entrenched, decades-long traditions created a series of quiet dramas behind the scenes, where legendary figures found themselves torn between honoring their lifelong devotion to their craft and participating in the most anticipated social event of the century. These conflicts highlight the unique burdens of enduring stardom, where personal desires must constantly be weighed against the expectations of audiences, the sanctity of long-term artistic institutions, and the heavy responsibilities that come with a lifetime of public devotion. It is within these quiet, parallel narratives of absence and obligation that the true scale of the main event becomes even more apparent, illustrating how its reach extended far beyond the immediate walls of the arena to touch distant stages and revered cultural sanctuaries across the nation. The atmosphere of anticipation was further heightened by the realization that this gathering presented a bridge between different eras of American cultural iconography, linking the golden age of singer-songwriters with the hyper-connected, stadium-filling reality of the modern music industry. The roots of this connection run deep, embedded in the very names and artistic inspirations that have shaped the trajectories of the individuals involved, creating a profound sense of historical continuity that added a layer of emotional weight to the entire affair. For the observers waiting outside and the millions watching from afar, the event felt less like a standard celebrity gathering and more like a coronation of a new cultural epoch, where the legacies of the past were being passed forward to define the future. This sense of historical resonance made the eventual revelations regarding who could attend and who was forced by circumstance to remain absent all the more poignant, demonstrating that even the most powerful invitations in the world must sometimes yield to the immutable laws of artistic tradition, professional duty, and the unstoppable momentum of pre-existing global commitments. The curtain rises on the inner sanctum of Madison Square Garden, an arena normally echoing with the roar of sports enthusiasts, now radically reimagined as a multi-million-dollar matrimonial paradise. The transformation of this iconic New York landmark required a logistical tour de force, involving round-the-clock labor to construct an environment that balanced massive theatrical scale with intimate, breathtaking romance. Security measures alone reached historic financial heights, establishing an absolute perimeter of privacy around the high-profile union of the legendary Kansas City Chiefs tight end and the groundbreaking musical icon. Within this fortified sanctuary, the air was thick with the scent of thousands of imported white roses, and the lighting was meticulously engineered to mimic the soft golden glow of an eternal twilight. Guests who crossed the threshold were greeted by an opulent display of luxury, featuring ultra-exclusive touches that included rare Cartier timepieces and bespoke designer handbags, alongside a vintage 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle that was reportedly being raffled off to the elite attendees as a nod to classic Americana. The sheer extravagance of the setting provided a fitting backdrop for a union that had captured the fascination of millions, creating a self-contained world of glamour that stood in sharp contrast to the bustling city streets just outside the arena doors. Yet, even as the magnificent ceremony unfolded with cinematic precision, the true narrative depth of the day emerged from the conspicuous absences of several cultural luminaries who were conspicuously missing from the star-studded pews. Among the most notable figures whose presence was missed was the legendary folk rock pioneer James Taylor, a 78-year-old icon whose musical legacy is so deeply intertwined with the bride that she was famously named after him. On that very Friday evening, as the newlyweds were exchanging vows in the heart of Manhattan, Taylor was standing before a massive, adoring crowd at the Kusavitsky Music Shed in Lenox, Massachusetts. For 52 consecutive years, beginning in 1974, Taylor has maintained an unbreakable patriotic tradition of performing an annual Independence Day concert at the Tanglewood Music Festival. Addressing his audience from the stage, with the Berkshire Eagle later capturing his words, the beloved singer-songwriter openly shared that he and his wife Kim had been invited to a major wedding at Madison's Square Garden that night. Rather than displaying any resentment over the unavoidable conflict, Taylor graciously offered his heartfelt blessings to the couple, publicly wishing the bride and groom lifelong happiness and smooth sailing on their shared journey ahead, before concluding his legendary set with a spectacular, patriotic fireworks display. The iconic troubadour was far from the only high-profile individual forced to decline what many had crowned the social event of the century due to the unyielding demands of professional obligation. The longtime American Idol host Ryan Seacrest found himself caught in a deeply agonizing professional dilemma as the holiday weekend approached, having initially sent a formal confirmation of his attendance to the grand event. The 51-year-old media mogul later admitted on his popular radio program, On Air with Ryan Seacrest, that he was intensely torn between his personal desire to witness the historic nuptials and the sudden, massive professional commitment that arose when Disney hired him to host a major 4th of July television special. Seacrest explained to his listeners that he spent hours carefully analyzing his schedule down to the absolute minute, desperately searching for a logistical loophole that would allow him to jet between the afternoon wedding ceremony in New York and his broadcasting duties, but ultimately realized the physics of time and travel made it completely impossible to do both. Choosing the responsibility of his career over the glamour of the star-studded fate, the seasoned broadcaster remained on set, adding his name to the exclusive list of prominent figures who could only celebrate the union from afar. This theme of inescapable professional duty echoing across the globe was further illustrated by the absence of several other international superstars who were physically prevented from attending by their own monumental career commitments. The British musical sensation Harry Styles was thousands of miles away, locked into the demanding European leg of his highly successful Together Together tour, performing before tens of thousands of fans in packed stadiums that left no room for transatlantic travel. Meanwhile, sports royalty Serena Williams was originally scheduled to compete in a highly anticipated Wimbledon doubles match alongside her sister Venus Williams in London, a commitment that completely ruled out a trip to Manhattan, though she was ironically forced to withdraw from the tournament anyway due to a sudden physical injury. Even Hollywood representation felt the sting of scheduling conflicts, as actor Robert Pattinson later confirmed that his absence was entirely due to the intense, unyielding production schedule of his latest cinematic endeavor, simply stating that he was actively on set shooting the highly anticipated next installment of the Batman franchise. These parallel stories of global icons working through the holiday highlight the immense pressure of top-tier stardom, where even the most coveted invitation of the year must sometimes take a backseat to pre-existing professional legacies. Despite these notable absences, the energy inside Madison Square Garden remained undeniably electric, fueled by the arrival of other legendary figures who did manage to navigate their schedules to witness the spectacular union. The apex of the evening's musical entertainment came when rock royalty itself took the stage, as Sir Paul McCartney delivered an unforgettable, intimate performance that instantly became the defining highlight of the reception. The former Beatles serenaded the newlyweds and their ecstatic guests with a live rendition of the iconic 1963 classic hit, I Want to Hold Your Hand, a performance that bridged generations of musical history and brought an unparalleled level of emotional gravity to the dance floor. The sight of one of the greatest living songwriters honoring the modern queen of pop and her championship-winning husband symbolized a profound passing of the cultural torch, elevating the evening from a standard high society wedding into a historic milestone. This extraordinary moment, captured in the memories of the elite guests, solidified the event as a masterclass in cultural convergence, where the worlds of sports, classic rock, and contemporary pop music fused together into a singular, unforgettable spectacle that will be discussed for decades to come. The culmination of this extraordinary event leaves an indelible mark on the landscape of popular culture, serving as a powerful reminder of how modern celebrity unions can unite disparate worlds and create shared cultural moments. When the final echoes of Sir Paul McCartney's legendary performance subsided and the exquisite floral arrangements were carefully disassembled, what remained was a profound narrative about legacy, commitment, and the shifting dynamics of global stardom. The pairing of a dominant athletic champion who has reached the absolute pinnacle of professional football through grit and charisma, with a musical visionary whose songwriting prowess and business acumen have redefined the global entertainment industry, represents the ultimate convergence of contemporary American iconography. Their journey to this historic Friday afternoon at Madison Square Garden was followed closely by millions of devoted observers, who witnessed a highly publicized romance blossom amidst the demanding schedules of championship football seasons and record-breaking stadium concert tours. This union proved that even under the most intense public scrutiny imaginable, it is possible to forge a meaningful partnership that honors both individual achievement and mutual respect, elevating the couple into a realm of cultural prominence that few historical duos have ever occupied. To understand why this event matters so deeply, one must look beyond the immediate glamour and financial extravagance of the weekend to examine the profound impact it has on the collective cultural consciousness. For decades, sports and music have served as the two primary pillars of mass entertainment, driving television ratings, dominating public discourse, and shaping the identities of generations of fans. By bringing these two massive worlds together in such an explicit and celebratory manner, the wedding acted as a grand cultural synthesis, creating an event where elite athletes, Hollywood actors, media moguls, and musical pioneers could mingle in a shared space of mutual admiration. The widespread fascination with who attended and who was forced to miss the event illustrates how deeply invested the public has become in the lives and relationships of these figures, viewing their social circles as a reflection of the broader entertainment hierarchy. Furthermore, the event underscored the enduring power of live, shared experiences in an increasingly fragmented media landscape, demonstrating that a single, well-orchestrated moment can still capture the undivided attention of the entire world and dominate global conversations for weeks on end. The stories of those who could not attend, From James Taylor's unwavering devotion to his 52-year Tanglewood tradition to Ryan Seacrest's minute-by-minute scheduling dilemma, add a layer of rich human complexity to the overarching chronicle. These accounts serve as a reminder that the lives of the global elite are governed by a complex web of obligations, traditions, and professional responsibilities that cannot simply be cast aside, even for the most exclusive invitation of the year. For an icon like James Taylor, the choice to remain in Massachusetts and perform his annual Independence Day concert reflects a profound respect for his audience and the artistic institutions that have sustained his legendary career for over half a century. Similarly, the commitments of Harry Styles on his international tour, Serena Williams preparing for the prestigious grass courts of Wimbledon, and Robert Pattinson working diligently on the cinematic future of a major superhero franchise illustrate the immense dedication required to maintain a position at the forefront of their respective fields. These parallel narratives of duty and artistic focus do not diminish the significance of the wedding, but rather enhance it, highlighting the sheer scale of an event that could cause such monumental scheduling conflicts across multiple continents and industries as the newlyweds begin their shared journey away from the bright lights of the historic arena. The legacy of their spectacular wedding will continue to influence the worlds of fashion, entertainment, and public relations for years to come. The meticulous planning, the unmatched security measures, the lavish gifts like the vintage Chevrolet Chevelle, and the surprise performances have set a new benchmark for high society events in the modern era. More importantly, the genuine warmth and blessings sent from those who were absent, such as Taylor's public wishes for happiness and smooth sailing, demonstrate the deep respect and affection that the couple commands among their peers across different generations of stardom. This historic gathering at Madison Square Garden was more than just a temporary media sensation. It was a beautifully orchestrated celebration of talent, love, and cultural power that successfully bridged the past, present, and future of global entertainment. The story of this unforgettable day will be told